Okay, so this is a redo of question number 3, and so I'm going to start with, I'm going to actually do two examples today. I'm going to have 64 to the 2/3 power, and what we're going to do is follow a very specific sequence here, and this is the same sequence that I want you to follow. And what you're going to look for, the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to split the exponent into a 1/3 multiplied by a 2, and it's separated. So what I really want you to notice here is that this 2/3 right here, the 1/3 portion of it comes to the inside of the parentheses, and the numerator of the exponent comes to the outside. Okay, and so you got to make sure that whatever your problem is, that it looks like this. So whatever your base number is to a fraction, and then this whole number will sit at the outside. So denominator comes to the inside of the parenthesis, numerator comes to the outside. All right. Now, from here, basically all you're looking for at this point is what's the one number multiplied together by itself 3 times to get 64. All right. And so what we're going to do is we're actually just going to start off with, well, I know I need three bases, basically, that are all the same, such that when I multiply them together, I'm going to get 64. Well, 1 times 1 times 1 is simply 1. So now let's go to 2 times 2 times 2, which we know is 8. And then 3 times 3 times 3, which we know is 27. And 4 times 4 times 4, which there is my 64. So I know that this is 1 to the 3rd power, this is 2 to the 3rd power, this is 3 to the 3rd power, and this is 4 to the 3rd power. Okay? Excuse me. So I know that because there's 64 there, there's 64 there, I can replace 64 with 4 to the 3rd power. So what I'm going to get here is 4 to the 3rd power times by 1/3 times parenthesis 2 to the outside. As you can see here, 4/3 is the same as 64. 1/3 just drops down, and the 2 just drops down. So we're basically copying the whole thing and just rewriting 64 as 4/3. Now, what's really great about this is because I have 3 times 1/3, these numbers cancel each other out, leaving us simply with 4 squared. Now that we have 4 squared, we know that that is 16. Okay? And so that is the process you want to follow. It should really only be 3 steps long, and you should be done. So let's look at, let's try 16 to the 3/4. Okay, so actually let me erase that and bring that down just a little bit. Hold on, sorry. Whoa. Okay, let me undo that. Okay, so 16 3/4. Let me just bring that over. Let me just move this whole screen over and we'll work on that over here. Okay, so 16 to the 3/4. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I want to say 16 to the 1/4 parenthesis 3. So you can again see the denominator comes denominator comes inside the parentheses, numerator goes outside the parentheses. Now I'm looking for a base number multiplied by itself 4 times that gets me 16. So starting with 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1 to the 4th. Well, that's just 1. Now let's go 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 to the 4th, which is equal to 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is, aha, there it is. So I'm going to replace 16 with 2 to the 4th. So this is now going to be 2 to the 4th times 1/4 all to the 3rd power. Because the 4's are the same, they cross each other off. Just doing a cross cancellation here. This becomes 2 cubed, which is equal to 8. All right, so that is the process I want you to follow for that problem.